Hello, Carla Hartley here. Today I'm going to be talking about gray divorce, and I will be continuing a small series on gray divorce over the next couple of days. It seems appropriate to me at this point in time. We've seen some very high-profile people who've been married for a very long time filing for divorce over the past year, I think. We have the Bezos marriage, which has been in the headlines as being on the rocks. The most recent filing for divorce, of which we are aware via the news, is Melinda Gates filing for a divorce from Bill. So when we are seeing very long-term marriages coming up for dissolution, the reasons can be very, very different for the different parties. Some people are just tired, some people can't talk anymore, someone sometimes has got a new love interest. There are all sorts of things that can prompt this. One of the most concerning items is, as we have people getting older, the idea that there's some new violence or some form of dementia that has come into the marriage. For the most part, we see a lot of younger people prompting their mom or their dad into a divorce because the violence in the marriage has escalated to a degree that it's unsafe to stay in the divorce. This is a problem, as it creates a way for other people to get their mitts on the community estate. And I'm not talking about the kids here. Usually the kids are very concerned about their parents. I'm talking about the caretaker that suddenly marries the spouse that has begun exhibiting these symptoms. This is all very problematic, and the best solution is not divorce in those cases. In many cases, the best solution is to look at whether or not you want a conservatorship. A conservatorship can protect the estate. It can protect both parties, because don't forget, in a long-term marriage, this is someone you have loved a long time, and if you are seeking a solution to the many problems that come at this point, which are giving lots of money away to people who just happen to say, oh, hey, I need it. Conservatorship solves a lot of that problem, and it can be a good solution. It can be a better solution in many cases than a divorce. The other solution could be a legal separation. But as with most legal separations, you start the legal separation and you're looking still at dividing the community estate, and then the community estate is still reserved for the other side to do what that party wants to do with it. I'm talking about this only in certain specific circumstances, and they really have to be present, but it's worth examining before pulling the trigger on divorce. Now, your next question is, well, is it that easy to get a conservatorship? No, I don't think it is. We have done a number of them, and the first problem that we face is if it is an involuntary conservatorship, who's going to be the conservator? Often the spouse can be the conservator, but is the party who is about to be conserved going to file for dissolution of marriage? How do you oppose that? Is the party who is about to be conserved, or for whom you are applying for conservation, likely to oppose it? And if so, are they oriented to time and space? Do they know what they're doing? Are they going to be able to prove that to the court investigator who is required by law to come out and check? So there are no easy solutions. But what I would encourage people who've been in a very long-term marriage, who are looking at some of the problems that are specific to old age in the marriage, don't assume you have to divorce to protect the community estate. And if you've got parents that are involved in this, don't assume you have to be divorced to protect your community estate. First, look at protecting your parents. And if you're married and you've been in a very long-term marriage, first look at protecting one another. And then if you have to take a step beyond that, look at all of your options, not just the most obvious and not the one that you've been seeing in the news lately. Although I want a disclaimer here, I'm not saying that any of the divorces we've seen in the news with these high-profile people have anything to do with this topic of dementia or seniors becoming far more vulnerable to scam artists. This is simply the first of a series of a few videos, and I wanted to start with a caution. Although I'm a family law attorney, I do very, very few conservatorships. In fact, I do none. My partner does them. For the most part, check that out first. Just take a look. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you have a good day.